Yeah, this show is just too good. 2 episodes in. Oh my god. Oh my god, the penguin. I think it really lived up to the first the season premiere, man. This 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 episode was just way too good. Oh my, intense. Well, this whole show is intense. It's Batman. It's supposed to be intense, but wow, wow, this episode. It's only episode 2, man. We got 6 to go. 6 to go for this show, man. But I really enjoyed this episode. Please, if yeah, so yeah, once again, guys, AWA will order. This is going to be a spoiler review for the Penguin, episode 2. If you've seen the episode just now and you want to come talk about, feel free to chat and I will invite people. Okay, all right. If you don't care about spoilers, this is still the channel for you, man. But if you care about spoilers, yeah, maybe not. Don't check this channel out. Okay, it's really up to you. Really up to you guys. Okay. But yeah, oh my god. So where to start? Oh, yeah, this episode focus a lot of character development, character rise on Sofia Falcone too. Okay? So a lot of Sofia Falcone in this episode, development for character, okay? And especially at the beginning, we see her see her at the beginning we see that she's in Arkham Arkham and she was going to be visited by a guest, and then the guest was Alberto Falcone, and in the back, Alberto Falcone gets shot and murdered, but turns out to be a dream sequence. It was just a nightmare of her, nightmare or something like that. Okay, a dream. Well, she does go to therapy. She does have a doctor. There's a doctor, and this doctor that tells her it's okay. They kind of he's creepy. This doctor is played by Theo Rossi. He's kind of a creepy doctor, man. A really really creepy doctor. Very sorry. I have to reply stuff at X. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. All right. It's this doctor. The doctor who's in at the beginning for a couple minutes. The psychiatrist, whatever. No, it is not. It is not Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow. It's just made for the show. So, but if the beginning, you may have seen him in other stuff like other shows, like most famously, most his name is Theo Rossi, right? Theo Rossi. If you know Theo Rossi, is more famously known from Sons of Anarchy, right? Sons of Anarchy. If you remember that show, starred Charlie Hunnam, right? The motorcycle gang show. That show. That's where he's most well known. You might have seen him in Army of the Dead. If you're Snyder fans, you might remember him from there. And that's all I can remember him from right now. Is that he's in that movie, in that TV show. Okay, that's all I can remember. Where he, best of my memory, where I seen him. Okay, he's kind of creepy too. He grabbing onto Sophia, like like a creep, man, like a creep. And Sophia caught on to that. Sophia Falcone caught on to that. She's not stupid, Sophia Falcone. Okay, she's not fucking stupid. She caught on to that, man. Yeah, it was creepy at the beginning. Really creepy at the beginning. Okay. Now the mystery about this episode is about for Sophia Falcone. It's about who murdered Alberto Falcone, right? Specific. That's her. That's her story. It's about who murdered her brother Alberto Falcone, right? The brother. But also there's another part where she takes another situation where she partakes in too. Okay, because her story about whoever took Alberto, oh my god, Alberto Falcone may play into what happens in this episode too. Okay, and what I mean by that, we see that Oz gets invited back to Blackgate, and you see Salvatore Maruni with his wife by his side, and I assume his son on the other side, across from his wife. And yeah, they don't like Oz, right? They don't like Oz. Obviously, who likes Oz? I mean, like, right? But you know Oz, Penguin, right? You know Penguin, right? You know Penguin. We know how the Penguin operates. Well, specifically in the show, how he's going to operate. He's going to play the two sides against each other and make sure they wipe each other out. So he can eventually be the top gangster, top kingpin of Gotham, right? That's his goal, obviously. That's but in order to do that, he has to find ways to play both families, both mafias against each other, right? Obviously, right? Both families against each other. So, so, so he convinces Maruni, and Maruni sends his top guy with him on this mission where he's technically taking a job for. He's working on this job for the Falcons, but he's gonna double cross the Falcons while aligning himself with the Maroonies. But he's gonna play it out like he had no clue, like he's gonna find a way to make that. He's gonna find a way where yeah, he double crossed the Falcons, but the Falcons won't find out that he double crossed them. He's gonna in this in this episode, and so this drop was a little shipment of drugs in a FEMA like truck as a decoy, right? A FEMA like truck, so it wouldn't be obvious, right? No, we expect a FEMA like truck to carry illegal drugs. No, we suspect that, and it's gonna be guarded by some of Falcone's men. Well, in secret, the Maruni gang, right? We're told about this obviously by Penguin, so they can hijack the shipment for themselves, take out the Falcones, the Falcone, the Falcone crime family. Let's call them that. Okay, right? So as this operation is going on, before they went on the road, Johnny Vitti, who Penguin wants to get out of the way. Penguin wants to get. He makes it perfectly clear he wants Johnny Vitti to get out of the way in this episode. Okay, he wants Johnny Vitti to be the fall guy. He wants Vitti to be the guy that they think is the rat. That the Falcons think is the rat. He wants Johnny Vitti to be that guy, right? That's what he wants in this episode. That's what he wants. Okay, and he has dirt on Johnny Vitti. He has dirt on Johnny Vitti too. So he can use whatever he wants on Johnny Vitti because he has dirt on Johnny Vitti. Okay. Also, we find out that Sofia Falcone thinks it's the Maroonis, someone from the Marooni family that killed um that killed Alberto Falcone. Eventually later on, they think it's somebody, a rat from the Falcones that killed Alberto Falcone for the Maroonis. Okay, for the but she thinks it's somebody that's working with the Maroon. No, no, Salvatore Maroni may be in Blackgate, but he still has a lot of pull. Still has a lot of pull from Blackgate control influence that goes outside of prison in Gotham. Clearly has that. Okay, and that's normal. That's normal. It's actually very normal. Okay. So yeah, Sophia Falcone, right? Very. There goes into some background information about her, uh, right? So it's been revealed that, yeah, I mean, in the first episode, she was in Arkham and she was a serial killer, but she did not kill men. As a serial killer, she did not murder men. She actually murdered women. In this episode, it is believed that she murdered 7 women, but it made it perfectly clear that there might have been more. Might have been more that were not found or whatever. But it made it perfectly clear that she murdered women, not men, just women. Women. Okay? And there were people on the radio. She was listening on the radio. The radio wasn't listening to the rail station on the radio, and whoever was on the radio said, "Why is they let her out? She's a serial killer. She murdered 7 women. Why would they ever think of letting her out?" It's because she went to Arkham, and Arkham is a prison but slash hospital, and inmates, right? Inmates, they think they're cured and all that. Inmates are allowed out, right? They're not serving life or anything like that, or capital punishment or anything like that, right? The death penalty. They're not serving life. They're there to serve their term, get help, deal with their problems, and get cured, and then back on the streets. Now, Batman, in the case, well, in the comics and TV shows, we know the case. They get out of prison, but they're not really cured. They either break out or they fake. They fake it, and you can tell she's not really technically cured. Okay, she's not cured. Maybe she's able to manage it better. I don't know. That's not the point. All right. Okay. So yeah, the mission was. I mean, the mission. Yeah. So the mission went according to plan to the Penguin and Maroney side of things, right? But not according to the Falcone side of things. And they suspected. Sofia Falcone suspected. How did they know? How did they know about the heist? Not well, it wasn't a heist. But how did they know about the drop and all of that? And then the Maroney gang committed the heist, obviously. How did they know? So that's all automatically means a rat, a snitch, a rat, a traitor, right? Within the family. Okay, and Sophia Falcone believes whoever ratted out the mission to the Maroney family, right? Had to be had to be in on the Alberto Falcone murder, her brother's murder, right? Had to be on it. Had to be on it. And I don't see anybody in my chat. Like, what is this? Come on, chat with me, buddy. Okay. Please have some fun, guys. Chat. Right? And Penguin clearly wanted to be Johnny Vitti to be the fall guy for that. Okay, the whole episode was about really him wanting Johnny Vitti. Also, we got introduced to Carmine Falcone's brother, who's kind of running things now since his brother's dead. Right? Yes, Alberto Falcone technically is supposed to be the heir apparent to his father and take control of the Falcone crime family, right? But her, but since he died, he was shot and died. The uncle takes control of his uncle, Carmen Falcone's brother, takes control. Yes, you would think Sofia Falcone would also be the heir to the which also is considered to be the heir too, right? If Alberto's out of the way, why not Sofia Falcone? Well, wait to the ending. Wait to the ending. Okay, wait to the ending. Just wait to the ending. All right, all right. Also, so yeah, there's a scene where Oz gets called by someone. Well, this happens after where Oz takes his protege. I'm gonna call him a protege. This Victor kid, the kid, right? Takes him home to his apartment, and Oz invites a group of prostitutes. All right, a group of prostitutes, hookers, prostitutes, whatever you want to call them, same thing, right? He's friends with them too, especially the prostitute named Eve Carlo that I assume he has kind of a relationship with in some sense. Like she's more than just a hooker to him. Okay, I wanted to say just as a girlfriend. I wouldn't call her like a girlfriend, but someone he's grow close to in some aspect, right? Also, while he's entertaining the guests, Victor was on his phone and he realized it's like 2:45 a.m. His mother texted him what to know where he was, and Oz looked at him, and you know what? He got one of the hookers and one of the girls to go over to Victor to introduce each other, and he told her what she does, and yeah, she's a cam girl, fetish stuff, like stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, and they say that this show is not PG-13. This show is mature rating. Okay, it's a mature rating show that you all know, a mature rating show. But there's no sex in the show. They don't say the swearing. There's violence. There's very heavy violence, blood, swearing, but there's no sex in the show at all. None whatsoever. Okay, so if it, but after that, he the next night, not the next night, the next morning, gets a call. Says his work because he had a worried face, right? Well, when he got the call, he says his work, but it really was the landlord that his mother pay has to pay to live in her house, right? So he comes over. The landlord, we figure out it's the landlord. The landlord tells Oz about his mother. His mother is clearly that she found him on the street. She found her on the street going to mass, and then it was the wrong day too. So he told Oz that she has he thinks she has dementia, and Oz is like, "What, are you not a fucking doctor?" But he pays the landlord. He's like, "Keep an eye on her," right? Yeah, so it looks like his mother has dementia. Okay. Now after that, well, okay. Let's probably be a short stream like the Agatha one. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. They don't mention Batman in this episode at all. I know they mentioned him briefly in the first episode by the newscast, but they don't mention Batman in this episode at all. But my problem, I love the show. It's a great show. It's award Emmy nominated, and I know Matt Reeves and the people that work on the show. Yeah, Batman's not heavy focused here, and it's mostly about the gang stuff. And there's a gang war, and crime is up. There's a gang war going up, but they should mention at least, hopefully in the future episodes, they should mention there's one major obstacle that's going to get in their way, and that's obviously Batman. Because let's be honest, they're no match for Batman. The Falcones and the Marines are no match for Batman. Okay, no match for Batman. No match. Oh, Degrassi, you want to come in, buddy? I want to. Did you see him, Degrassi? Look, you don't have to show Batman. We don't have to see Bruce Wayne, Batman, but you have. I think you have to kind of talk about him in a way that, because this is a gang war and this is the rise to top for Penguin, and of course Penguin has to. Penguin has to. He wants to be the kingpin, but there's always going to be, yeah, he may get to achieve that point, but he's never going to be fully. He's not going to be safe as long as Batman's around. That's my point. You have Batman. You got it, because got this this show should, yeah, it's a Penguin show. 90. Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah, neither does Batman. Well, I'm sure Batman's aware what's going on, right? Like what's going on with the gang. Well, he's aware of that. He missed it in the end of the Batman. We missed it in the end of the Batman. And it's funny though. They don't even mention Selena Kyle either. I know Selena Kyle left, but Selena Kyle, yeah, she's a bastard child of Carmine Falcone. I guess it's officially confirmed that she is the child of Carmine Falcone, but they don't even mention her yet. Oh my god, that Theo Rossi, that doctor is creepy as hell, man. That doctor, I'm scared. That doctor, oh my god, that doctor. You know what that doctor wants to do to Sophia Falcone. They're eventually going to need each other, probably. And the Batman, they're going to need each other. The Batman's going to turn on them and get them arrested. You know what? They should have. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What's funny though? They, you know what? You know what? I love the show, but the way the Falcones are willing to work with Penguin and don't suspect a thing. Did he try to kill Carmine? Did he try to kill Carmine just before the Penguin sniped him? Not the Penguin, Wither sniped him. Like you would think they would try to kill him because before the show, between the time that the Falcones would try to kill him because he tried to remember. And look, also the Penguin was scared shitless of Batman. Okay, and the Batman, he was scared shitless of Batman too. And I think I would be scared of this Batman also because the tone of this show is very much like the Batman. The tone of the gangster style is very, very deep, really, really fits the tone, right? It's a great, right? And I can't wait to see what other villains fit this tone eventually as this franchise, the Batman franchise saga moves forward. Like I want to see what the Joker is like because Sophia Falcone is crazy, right? Sophia Falcone is crazy. Penguin's not crazy, but he's ruthless. Riddler is fucking crazy, but the Joker in this universe, this Joker, I think this Joker in this universe, in this franchise, could be the most insane, crazy, sadistic Joker we have ever on live adaptation. Crazier than Jack Nicholson, crazier than Heath Ledger, definitely crazier than Jared Leto. And I don't know, I may forget another one, but I'm saying this Joker, because of the tone of the show and the way some of the villains are depicted in the show, the Joker we're to get, I could think it's going to be the most deranged Joker because Matt Reeves is clearly making the villains here deranged. And well, Penguin's not deranged, but he's still ruthless. I'm legitimately scared of this Penguin, that this Joker we might have coming up in the Batman franchise. Whenever he comes, I'm scared. I mean, I'm scared of a bunch of other villains. I'll be fucking scared of Scarecrow in this world. Okay, can you imagine you have Two Face in this world, especially if it's a split personality? This is scary. This and it's a good thing, in a good way. Okay, in a good way, like in a good way, in a very very good way. So they managed to catch what they think is somebody who knows who betrayed a Maroni henchman, right? A Maroni henchman, and they'll do whatever it takes, who to they and so and they go to a funeral. They go to a funeral, and at the funeral, there's protesters protesting Sophia Falcone being released from Markham, stuff like that, right? Not as big as funeral as the mayor. Also, she does bribe a corrupt detective, with drugs and money to find out the rat, and they manage to catch the rat, right? Well, they think it's the rat, but it's not really the rat. But it's a Rooney's henchman, because this Rooney's henchman will mention and they'll torture him, and they'll mention who is the rat, right? And Penguin gets word of this. And by the way, like I forget who Carmine's brother's name. I forget the name, but he didn't approve of this. Da Vinci. I almost said Johnny Da Vinci. Johnny Vinci did not approve of this. Okay, but they think they captured the guy who would reveal himself to be the rat, right? Ratting out the Falcones to the Maroonies, right? To reveal who the rat is. The guy they captured is not the rat, but they believe he knows who the rat is. And obviously the rat's Penguin, but Penguin wants to pin it on Johnny Vinci, right? Vinci, get him out of the way. Okay? And it's also Johnny Vinci was sleeping with I Johnny Vinci has been it's been revealed he was sleeping with his I guess it's I don't, is that so the so that's not his uncle, right? Right? Is Johnny Vinci's uncle? Or is that a different uncle in the Falcone family? I don't know. That's weird. Okay. But he wants to pin it on Johnny Vinci, right? As the rat. Get him out of the way because he's high up in the he's one high up in the food chain among the family. He's not at the top, right? Not at the top. So Penguin gets a word of this. Penguin gets a word of this, right? And he tells his boy Victor, his boy Victor, to frame not frame. That's legally that's more cop stuff, but to make it the print jewelry, to have jewelry, right? The print jewelry in Johnny Vinci's car, right? So Johnny Vitti, yeah, Vitti, yeah, in his car, right? Unfortunately, Victor got caught. Victor got caught, and he went into the forest, and yeah, obviously, right? So, but before that, Penguin finds the guy that Sophia and his kidnaps, right? Top guy, top. And Sophia does have a top bodyguard, like who looks out for her, right? Right? Johnny Vitti. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Why I call him Johnny Vinci. I knew it was Johnny Vitti. Yeah, right. But so Penguin finds the guy. Yeah, yeah, in the comics, right? So is Johnny Vitti not related at all to the Falcones in the show? Are they not related at all in the show? Okay. Yeah, and he died, right? Who killed Johnny Vitti? It was the Holiday Killer, right? Holiday Killer killed Johnny Vitti in the Long Halloween, right? So if you remember that, um, so Penguin tells the guy, he's like, "You're gonna say it's Johnny Vitti he read who was the mole, the traitor, right? Right?" And he agreed to it, the guy, right? Well, he was still kind of morphed up, dazed, all that shit. He wasn't in the best state of mind, but he was willing to do it. I don't know if he, and but Holiday Killer is either but it's either Abella Falcone. That can happen. Okay, but so Victor calls Penguin Oz, tells him he screwed up. He screwed up, and so Penguin looked back at the guy and like changed the plans. So what he did was he stabbed the guy to death, and really jammed it in there with a pocket knife, right? So he couldn't say anything. He couldn't snitch. He couldn't say them rat Penguin out, right? So Sophia and her uncle come down to the guy and they see he's dead. The guy is dead, and obviously they see that the knife, the stabbing obviously from a knife, and they're like, so what they do, the I forget the uncle's name, Carmine's brother's name. I forget his name in the show. I'm sorry, I apologize, but he makes an order to collect to gather everybody to see who has the pocket knife that stabbed that was responsible for the killing of the that guy, right? And Oz was getting worried, frustrated, worried because he had the pocket knife, right? So he just started accusing Johnny Vitti, right? Johnny Vitti of killing the guy, calling him the snitch, the traitor, the rat, right? Okay. As they're tangled up, they stop the fight, and it turns out they each search. And it turns out it was Sophia Falcone that apparently had the knife. So I guess Oz slipped it in him, right? In him. because Johnny Vitti compared to that guy, that guy is more expendable than Johnny Vitti, right? So if it's Johnny Vitti who is the rat, they might they might look at it and be like, they might give him the benefit of doubt compared to the other guy. The other guy's just a bodyguard for Sofia Falcone, so he's more expendable than Johnny Vitti, right? So he definitely would not get the benefit of the doubt. Okay? And it turns out it was Sophia's bodyguard. Obviously, it is not him, but obviously it's the Penguin, but it's not him. But Penguin. So Sophia Falcone wanted the gun to shoot him, right? Because she felt betrayed. She wanted to shoot him, and nobody was giving her a gun. Nobody was giving her a gun, right? And so her uncle shot him, right? Her uncle shot him, dead. And then we see that they gave orders to Oz to bury the guy that he stabbed and Sophia's bodyguard in the forest, right? So hopefully nobody could find them, right? A grave, right? And he told Victor to lie down next to them because obviously it's a learning lesson. What this is a life lesson for what is for screwing up, for failing when you're working with the mob or stuff like that, right? If you screw up in the mob or in a, like really really bad, this is where you end up, right? So it's a life lesson for it was a life lesson for the kid, right? Life lesson. So yeah, that was a life lesson. Okay. I saw, and right, it was a life lesson, and then at the ending of the episode, so this episode was a little shorter than the first episode, about 55 minutes long, 55 to 57 minutes long, but it was still a pretty long ass episode, right? Longer than Agatha's episode. This show is gonna be longer than Agatha. I can tell you that. It really is. So he goes to where Sophia, because Sophia's at the mausoleum. I think it's right where her family is buried. Right, her father is buried. Right next to her father. Well, not buried, but in but you know what I mean. Father, and next to her father is her mother. And then very briefly under is Alberto Falcone. And Alberto Falcone only was killed about a week after Carmine's death at the hands of the Riddler. Yeah, because it shows a date. I forget the exact date, but I said like November. I think it said November 6th or 7th for Falcone Carmine's death. And I think for the son, it's November 13th, 2022. So yes, technically this is 2024. And when the Batman came out, it was the same year as it took place in 2022, right? That's the current that when it came out, it was the same year that the Batman was the current year at the time, right? But now since it's 2024 in real life, the Batman did not fast forward 2 years. It's still 2024, so that's why Alberto Falcone's um date of birth to date of death is still in 2022, and a week after his father's death, murder at the hands of the Riddler. Right? And and in this episode, Sophia was tired of being told what to do, right? Being told what to do because she's a woman, yeah, it is. She does play that. She does say that, and it's understandable, right? In these families, like a woman, they're overlooking her because she is technically a female. They're overlooking her, and it kind of scared that that she's not. They're also they think she's not the best state of mind to lead because she is crazy. We saw it in the past episode. They don't think that she should lead, obviously, because one, she's a woman, and two, they don't think she's cured, and she's not. And Penguin stands next to her, so she wants Claire to take over the control of the Carmine, her family's, the Falcone crime family. She wants that. She wants that. So that means offering Johnny V, eventually her uncle. She wants that, right? Penguin, wants that, and so they kind of make it a alliance, a team up to get what they want. And obviously, Penguin's playing all the sides here, right? Working with the Falcones while working secretly with the Maroonies, and now secretly working with Sophia. He's playing all the sides here. So he's got so many fucking enemies. Enemies, right? So many freaking enemies. Right? He knows what exactly he's doing, though. He's not stupid. He knows what exactly he's doing. Okay? And that's how the last episode ended. Them standing side by side together, making an alliance. And she doesn't know that it was him that killed Alberto Falcone. She thinks it's the Maroonies that killed Alberto Falcone. And she thinks it's the Maroonies, somebody from them who worked with the Maroonies, put Alberto Falcone in the trunk of the car that crashed in the previous episode. Okay? So yeah, that's what's so that's the episode basically. Okay? Right? Right now this is I'm gonna say this. This might be the best first two episodes. This is a hyperbole, right? This is a hyperbole. This is exaggeration. But I do think this might end up being the best comic book show ever right now. I think it has potential. It potentially is on that path towards being the best comic book show ever. Ever. Okay? And this show, I like Agatha. Don't get me wrong. I like the Agatha show. It's a solid show. I think it's a solid show. But this show blows Agatha out of the water. Sorry. I'm sorry, Marvel fans. This show just blows Agatha out of the water. Okay? I'm sorry. It's just and it's only two episodes in, so there's always a chance the next episodes may not be as good. But I'm telling you, this show is a must watch. Not I'm saying this as not just a comic book fan, but as someone who likes watching TV and movies, TV shows and movies. And if you like if you're just a general Batman fan who likes Batman but don't really necessarily like all the comics, watch this show because you won't feel like this is a comic book show. Yes, it features comic book characters, but the way it's presented does not feel like a comic book show. It feels more like real life, if you ask me. If you ask me, this is more real than a comic book movie. Okay? Okay? Go watch the show, man. Go watch the show if you can. Okay? What else? Is there anything I need to point out? I don't know if there's anything else I need to point out. Yeah, so short stream, 45 minutes, I guess. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, see, Derpy even says so. Like Derpy, yeah, like this might even better than the first episode. Yeah, this show is this show is different than any other comic book show out there. Comic book show or movie. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. Like you're not watching a comic book. You know it's a comic book characters, but you're not watching comic books here. Okay, you're watching some of the best mafia movies, mafia movies into one, mixed into one, inspired into one. Whether it's Soprano, Godfather, whatever, whatever, you're seeing it here. You're seeing it here in this show. And yes, Penguin's the Penguin's backstory, Penguin's backstory, Penguin's characterization might be might be changed compared to the comics and stuff, right? But it fits this Batman franchise. The Penguin show blows Agatha out of the water. I'm sorry. It's a night and day. It's a night and day thing. Night and day. All right. So we'll do this again next week. We'll do this again next week. Episode 3 next week. Okay? We'll do this again next week. Next Sunday, obviously. That's the plan. Can episode 3 top this? I don't know, man. It's hard. I mean, it's hard, but can it? We'll find out next week. So I'll probably do something Tuesday. Not sure yet, but make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment below once this goes on the once this becomes a replay. Make sure to check it out.